The sky was burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
Go.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another game, week 1 of SGL. I'm Luis, obviously, joined by our great co-commentator, streamer extraordinaire, Rydog. How you doing, Rydog?
Oh, just doing great tonight. I had a busy day at work, but we're back. We're here. Luis, you and I have we did the 2 first streams on Monday or Tuesday. I did the one yesterday with Maz, and then of course I'm back now with you doing another one tonight. So we're just keeping the SGL train rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've just been so pleased that we've managed to get all these games on stream. Just given the amount of time zones we have, it's quite hard to do, but we're doing a pretty good job so far to start this first week. So yeah, I'm really excited for this game. It should be a blast. We have the defending champs in action tonight, so we're looking forward to see how they start off their Season 8 campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. And Luis, you and I were talking about this a little bit. I don't remember if it was on camera or not, but KC Cauldron's roster is looking a little bit different this season, losing one of their key players in Cheeky Prophet. I know I definitely talked about it yesterday with Maz during our match yesterday, but I really think KC is going to be fine, even though, we all know Cheeky Prophet as a really good player in SGL, really good mechanically, and can kind of take things up a notch when they need to be. But just looking down the KC roster still, like, things are still in good shape for them. And of course with EC Blue, we can talk about them here in a second, but they've had some roster changes as well, losing Gojo to ECRC, right? So I still think KC's in a better spot for this season, and especially this match.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it on the first stream. We talked about the loss of Cheeky Prophet on this roster. For me, their best player. I'm really interested to see how that translates into their early season, I guess, groove or whatnot. But yeah, obviously EC Blue as well lost their best player. So 2 teams that have lost their best player. So yeah, I'm excited to see how both teams play. And yeah, I honestly have no idea what to expect, to be honest. I don't really know if you have a prediction or you have any thoughts on a winner for this series. I'm interested, Rydog. What do you think?
Yeah, I think KC will still take it. I think, like I said, their depth, yeah, even losing Cheeky Prophet is still fine. Of course, I think it just comes down to chemistry, right? I think we've seen that over the course of the first week of SGL. You and I saw it for sure in those first 2 matches, right, for the other EC teams. And then also yesterday too, we just saw like maybe a lot more chemistry, but just not a lot of offense. So we're kind of getting like this weird mix of teams of maybe not putting their full foot down yet, just because they are trying to get their footing still and everything. But I think that still favors KC. I'm just looking at doing some Discord stalking here. It looks like EC Blue's going with the lineup of Christmas, Funk, and Huskies. Of course, we know Funk and Huskies from last year, but they pick up Christmas to replace Gojo. Very similar style players. Christmas very mechanical, very very good with the rotations, but of course when you have Gojo leaving, that's just a huge. He's got huge shoes to fill.
Yeah, whenever you lose your best player, no matter what sport, no matter what esport you're playing, it's going to be an uphill battle. Christmas, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays in his first ever SGL game. And yeah, I'm just excited for the series. I always love series in which there's something new or something unexpected, not just so straightforward. So yeah, I'm excited for this game, and we should be getting rolling here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think we're getting the teams into the lobby still. That's all good there. But yeah, I think we've even with teams with a similar roster, we just haven't really known what to expect. Of course, Maz and I casted locals and Steel Army yesterday, and teams with the same roster, same core, coming from last season, and so. But even then, like I said, we weren't really know what to expect, and ultimately we ended up getting a back and forth affair with Meki Ducky on the locals side and Bear Blitz on the Steel Army side. Basically just one, it seemed like 1v1ing. I think both of them had like a 90% goal participation, which was incredible, and of course locals ended up taking that series yesterday. But But yeah, it's going to be an interesting series. I'm curious to see how both of these teams start their season. Of course, you always want to start on the win column, but ultimately, I think week 1 is just about playing well, right? Can you kind of establish your footing as quick as possible, and of course, if you can win, that's even better, which is going to help you down the line. But can you establish a baseline to help you through the rest of the season?
Yeah, week 1 is just all about getting rid of those jitters. No matter if you're the defending champions in the Cauldron, or you're a team at the bottom of the league, like we saw with Los Verdes earlier in the week. It's all about getting rid of those jitters, and yeah, just finding a groove early. Yeah, it's always fun these first week games. Again, you really never know what to expect from these teams. But I think everybody is in the lobby. I'm ready to go. If you're ready to go, Rye Dog, we can get the show on the road.
I'm ready to go. Yeah, whenever we get these guys in the game here, we're gonna get going. And then just a reminder too, of course, we've got this match tonight, and then we can talk about it a little bit more after, Luis. But we do have one more match in week 1. It's going to be Timbers Army versus Black Army. That'll be later tonight as well. But first, we've got the appetizer, if you will, in KC Cauldron versus EC Blue. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. And KC Cauldron rolling out a lineup of Funch, Yef, and Thorgold. So no Serrano. And as we speak about the KC Cauldron, 5 seconds in, a kickoff goal. They're up 1-0.
Yeah, it's a good start for KC right off the kickoff. All the EC Blue players looked a little bit lost there, just not sure how to deal with that kind of neutral kickoff. But so of course not the start you want from EC Blue. But if you're a KC Cauldron fan, you're starting right where you left off last season.
Yeah, good to see KC starting off so well, and Thorgold just on a roll now. 2 kickoff goals, just about as perfect as a start as KC could have hoped for. They're all over them in these kickoffs. That'll be something that if you're EC Blue, you definitely want to get these kickoffs under control if you want to have a chance in winning this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It maybe comes down to, do you purposefully lose a kickoff to kind of keep possession a little bit, or just kind of what they did there, just kind of neutralize things and enable to establish those rotations. But ultimately, I'm looking to the new guy. I'm hoping that Christmas plays well for EC Blue. Like I said, he's a very similar play to Gojo in the sense of play style of very mechanical and that sort of like kind of take over the game-esque, if you will. But right now it's been all KC's. Another shot comes off the crossbar.
Yeah, and on the KC side, really glad to see Captain Yef back on this side. I know at the end of last season, there were some issues getting him in the roster. I'm really glad that he's back on the side, an OG of SGL. So really happy to see him back playing some SGL games.
Yeah, it's actually funny that I was actually going to mention something like that you know they have all this depth, but you know you really haven't seen it KC because of course you have really good players in Funch and Thorngold and Chiefy Prophet at the time, and you didn't really see much of Yef. And so if he's going to take a predominantly starting role on this team this season, as another double commit comes out from EC Blue, is something to definitely watch the rest of the way. But yeah, you've got talent all over that KC Cauldron roster, and will it be easier maybe that they have one less player to think about when they're making roster decisions? I don't know, but thankfully I don't have to make those coaching decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a team that has 2 other players in Smitty and Serrano who are fantastic, and would basically start on any other team in this league. So yeah, they're spoiled for choice in terms of players they send out onto the field. So yeah, that's just one thing that's going to be interesting to see how KC goes throughout the whole season in terms of finding a cohesive roster, or are they just going to continue to change up the lineups as we go through all the weeks? So that'll be interesting to follow up on as the season goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like EC Blue has stabilized a little bit. The rotations are now coming through and all that sort of stuff. And this Christmas is going to get a shot. It's going to be saved over by Yef, and Funk unable to collect. I will say about EC Blue, they do have one more man on their roster. He's one of my personal favorites just because he's one of my best friends in real life. They're hoping that Java can join them for some of the season as well. So still pending on his transfer, undisclosed amount, but he's a really good player, similar to Christmas, very mechanical. And so but of course this current lineup with Funk, Huskies, and Christmas, right? Funk and Huskies have played together quite a bit. As unfortunately Funk doesn't get the touch he wants, and Thorgold's going to complete his hat trick with just over 2 minutes left. But it's starting to look a little bit better for EC Blue after getting those kickoff goals.
Yeah, prior to this goal, if you're EC Blue, you're really loving the response that you had to conceding 2 kickoff goals. One small mistake there at the back with 0 boost leads to the 3rd goal. But yeah, a good response from EC Blue, and just overall good pressure for the Cauldron throughout these first 3 minutes of the game.
Not very surprised, truthfully, that Casey's putting on all this pressure. I mean, we talked about it a lot last year, I know, just from being in the booth when they're playing, is they're really, really good at their boost management of their rotations. They will not let you clear the ball out because they have all of the boost and because they have really good positioning and rotations, right? You can clear it right to them every single time and they will just pump it right back in your defensive half. And because they're stealing those boosts, you don't have a boost to do anything with, of course. And so that's going to cause some shorter rotations, some misplays. And ultimately, that's, of course, their solo plays and everything from Casey are there, but that's just another way that they can hurt you.
Yeah, what a save by Christmas there. I know it didn't get credit to him, but that was an awesome save. Knowing his teammate had 0 boost, coming across there and pinching it off his own crossbar now. Great save by Christmas. He's had a really good showing so far in these first 4 minutes in his first SGL game.
Yeah, let's see if the other 2 players from EC Blue, Huskies and Funk, can match it a little bit. Of course, yeah, they have been playing quite a bit. I have been looking in the Cascadia Discord. I guess now it's the EC Discord, but SysNet's going to be open. Christmas is going to get there in time. So they have been playing quite a bit together. So it is nice to see, you know, just the teams practicing before SGL. Things we love to see. Of course, I said the same thing about Defiance, as well as Yef is going to get his first goal of the SGL campaign. It's going to be the nail in the coffin for game 1.
Yeah, lovely outlet pass. Yef on the break, open net. And this whole play started with Captain Yef saving a ball on his goal line, and for him to finish it off as well. Really deserved goal from him, given his overall participation in that play.
Yeah, so KC Cauldron rolling just like last season, and of course it's maybe a message to the league of, hey, you know, we may have lost to arguably one of our best players, as EC Blue are going to get on the board with 9 seconds left in game 1. It's consolation at the end of the day, but Christmas is going to open his SGL account.
Always good to get your first goal in any league that you play in, so that'll feel good for Christmas going into the rest of the series. Although it's a 4-1 scoreline, I will be honest, there was a good 3-minute period there after the first 2 goals in which if you're EC Blue, you feel quite good about yourself. But this Cauldron team, yeah, class all across the board, and they'll make you pay for any mistakes, and they are going to end up taking game 1 of this series, and yeah, this is the champions in full effect, right, Dog?
Oh, 100%. And like I said, this was not a surprise. I think if you're an SGL veteran, I think you're looking at this KC Cauldron roster, and you really just look up and down. Of course, there's the 3 on the field, and of course the 2 that you've mentioned, Luis, time and time again, Smitty, and who am I missing?
Serrano.
Serrano, thank you. Yeah, no, they're just up and down the board, really, really good players, and so that's what makes them so dangerous. But like I was saying, yeah, maybe it's just a message to the league of, hey, we may have lost one of our best players in Cheeky Profit, but we're still got the talent. We still have the drive to win, and they open up really strong.
Yeah, very strong. I'm looking forward to seeing how Emerald City Blue bounces back. Any game plan changes, maybe some more bumps, more demos. Really interested to see what they do in this game too, to kind of get back in this series and at least try to make it a good series for us here on stream.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maz reminding us in the chat that both teams have no subs, so these are going to be the 3 with us for the entire series, and so that is important to know. Of course, we've mentioned the depth for both teams. Really, Java, of course, a pending transfer, and of course the 2 Serrano and Smitty for KC. Just maybe not available tonight. So yeah, these are the rosters that we're gonna see. And so yeah, can you make those little tweaks? Can you make those little adjustments? Luis, you said it perfectly. I think after those 2 kickoff goals, EC Blue looked a lot better, a lot smoother. of course, ended up not getting as many offensive chances as they wanted, and of course, not as many goals. But I think that bodes well for them. If they can kind of find that rhythm that they had right from the start of the game, I think they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, a good first kickoff would do wonders for them, and courtesy of a whiff on the KC side, they don't end up conceding that kickoff goal. But right on cue, Thorngold is just back in the goals. It wasn't a kickoff goal, but it also wasn't something that you'd want to see if you're EC Blue. So KC, right where they left off, taking a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's maybe just like against the run of play, and unfortunately for Christmas, he had a whiff kind of on that next touch in the neutral kickoff, and unfortunately didn't get the hit that he wanted, and so that allowed Thorngold to come in and take the shot as Yef is gonna get this one to the top left, and dare I say it, Casey's just having fun.
That's the best goal so far we've seen. Captain Yef, upper 90, pre-flip off the wall. That's the Yef we've seen in SGL for seasons now, and that's just something you love to see out of him. Always love to see a good dominus on the field, and Captain Yef always brings that for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I see some pre-jumps coming out. I think they're just having fun and really not scared of EC Blue, which makes EC Blue fans a little bit nervous, as Christmas is going to have the deficit with a beautiful, slow, but beautifully placed shot.
Yeah, kind of a misplay there from Thorngold. Actually, a very tough ball to read off the wall there, especially with a very flat car. And yeah, it popped right out to Christmas, and he's in the right place at the right time. That's 2 for Christmas in 2 games, and they're only down by 1.
Yeah, you don't want to get KC established. I think that's the key for EC Blue, and I'm not just meaning like in this series. Of course, they're going to be in this series, but just game by game, can you pressure them as soon as you can? Can you pick up these boosts? Can you steal these boosts? And just not allow them to do the things that they want to do, just like that. That's a great cut from Huskies. It's going to leave Punch in a really awkward spot. Unfortunately, that next defender wasn't able to do much with that, but that's a free possession for you in the blue half, and let's see if Christmas can do anything for EC Blue.
Yeah, boost total is getting a little bit low here for KC. This is going to be a perfect time for EC Blue to turn on the offensive pressure. Some really good 50s out of Christmas there. They're really turning up the offense, and this is definitely a way better showing a minute and a half in than we did see in Game 1 from EC Blue.
And there's unfortunately another whiff from Christmas. That's a great pass. I'm not sure who it actually came from. It's going to allow a shot from Thorngold. It's going to be saved in the end by Huskies, but yeah, just if they can kind of fix these whiffs. There's been 1 or 2 kind of key, misses from EC Blue. If they can kind of fix those a little bit, I think they're going to be in good shape. But as I say that, KC marched right back down the field. Thorngold playing the assist man this time to Captain Yef.
Yeah, both dominuses are absolutely dominating this game. Thorngold being the provider on this occasion. This is typical KC Cauldron, and we're seeing it to full effect here in Game 2.
Yeah, like I said, they're just having fun, and of course that doesn't bode well if you're an EC Blue fan, because a fun KC team is not fun to play against, because they're pre-jumping, they're stealing boosts, they're bumping, they're demoing, they're doing all of those awkward things that you hate playing against, and especially if they're having fun, they're definitely a little bit lighthearted. But yeah, we'll see if EC Blue can respond. We've seen some good things as Yep gets a little doink off the top of the Dominus there, but yeah, we've seen some good things from EC Blue, but can they just keep it going?
Yeah, it's really not that bad of a performance. I just think some of these goals that we're seeing out of KC are just that good, considering they are the champions. It was always going to be a tough task for this EC Blue team, but again, just under half of the game to go, and they're only down 2 goals, and everybody who's played Rocket League knows they have plenty of time to get back in the game.
Absolutely. I think it comes down to, like I said, those cuts and rotation, those, not allowing KC to do what they want. Can they kind of establish that play style? Almost like their companions in ECRC of just playing kind of super awkward and boost stealing and everything. But ultimately, when you have Captain Yev and Thorngold scoring this many goals, I mean, it's going to be hard to stop. That's a hat trick for Yev in Game 2.
A hat trick for Yev in Game 2, a hat trick for Thorngold in Game 1. This is starting to be a rout here for the KC boys. coming into this season, I didn't know what to expect, Rye Dog, but it just seems like they are the champions, and they're right back on the trail to challenging again for another title.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking at this performance from KC and saying who's going to be the team to stop them, right? Of course, they had 1 or 2 losses last year. I think one in the regular season, correct me if I'm wrong, and then 1 to ECRC in the upper bracket final. Are you kidding me? What did I just say?
Now, if Thorngold meant to do this, he is literally the greatest player ever. And I think he did. Yeah, that was totally on purpose. Yeah, that was not like a lucky goal. Wow, what a goal. What an angle. By the way, that's a goal that only Dominus players can score. I mean, that was beautiful. And again, one of the things that I love about this league so much is we have a bunch of different car varieties. It's not just the standard Fennec, Octane, boring Rocket League. Wow, what a goal from Thorngold and showcasing the Dominus's talents.
Yeah, absolutely. Can EC Blue respond? Of course, maybe there is still a minute left, but this game may be out of reach as there's going to be another one coming in for Thorngold. So we haven't seen much of Funch yet, which is interesting to say, because I think Maz was the one that pointed it out in chat earlier that he's improved so much over the course of the last season and the off season, which I agree. I think he's a great fit right now for this KC roster. But right now it's just been the Thorngold and Yev show up top.
Yeah, right now Thorngold is taking an early lead in the goals per game category for this season. 6 goals in 2 games is a pretty good feat. If he keeps that up, he'll be our top scorer this season. And speaking about top scorers, Christmas again scoring for EC Blue. He now has 3 goals in 2 games, all 3 goals for his side. A great debut showing for Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas is looking really, really good, and like I said, I'm hoping that, and we know Huskies, we know Funk, we've seen them last season. Of course, I've seen them maybe a little bit more in the Seattle Discord as well. I'm playing the Tourney Tuesdays that they do, and so they're good players. When they're on, they're on, and I'm hoping that maybe not. Well, hopefully the rest of this game, there's still 30 seconds. Maybe they can try and get those things rolling, get the good vibes rolling, so they can play. I don't want to say a little bit better, because I think that's harsh. I think they're playing okay, and I think KC's just that good. But we see the Huskies and Funk that we've known and loved over the course of last season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this team, I believe, finished above 500 last season. I know they did have Gojo, so they are a good team. As we see Thorngold, again, this guy he's heading for that golden boot, man. He wants that golden boot. He's the early odds-on favorite at the moment. And man, everything he touches turns to gold. And wow, 7-2. Can we get an 8-2? Can we get a United Arsenal scoreline here? Let's take a peek.
Yeah, or a Barca Bayern score from Champions League. Was that 22, 21?
Oh, yeah,
unbelievable. Yeah. And here we go. Thorngold, he's up in the air. Gonna get one more touch. Now that ball is gonna die, and it's gonna be a 2-0 series lead for KC Cauldron. Like I keep mentioning, I think I expected this. I think with the roster that KC has, they're really freaking good, and they're just having fun on the field.
800 points for Thorngold. That's pretty good, I think. When you have more points than the entire opposition team combined, he's really putting on a show. And this is Thorngold, a player who's been in FGL for numerous seasons, numerous years now, really showing what a good savvy veteran in this league can do to a team that's, has some roster changes, and is kind of going through a transition here. But yeah, great performance by Thorngold, by Captain Yev, and it's just business as usual for the KC Cauldron.
Yeah, absolutely. And for EC Blue, it's how can you address those things? Like we keep saying, they're not playing poorly. We really don't think so. I think if you take this performance against maybe another team, like they're scoring goals, they're playing well, they may even take a few games, but just the amount of talent that KC has on the field right now is maybe just a little bit too overwhelming for EC Blue. And of course, those are going to be things that you can fix over the course of the rest of the season. And of course, if you can pick up maybe like a Java or another player as well to kind of fill in those gaps, maybe now you have 4 or 5 potential really good players, and you almost have a KC situation where you've got 5 really good players. How do I pick 3 to start, right? And so they don't, of course, both teams don't have any subs available for themselves this evening, but maybe down the road, maybe that's something you look forward to.
Yeah, and again, we've spoken about Christmas already quite a bit, but he's been tremendous. It's, oftentimes your first game in any sort of league is always a nerve-wracking one, but for him, he's been tremendous and hasn't really shown that naivete that you do see with certain players on their debuts. So, really impressed with his performance so far.
Yeah, if I'm being really nitpicky, and I know I can be picky because I've seen it before when I've played with him, can he control the ball a little bit more? There's times where he's just kind of throwing the ball away, and like I said, I think that the Gojo comparison is really good. Very mechanical and able to kind of take over games at times, and we really haven't seen that a lot from Christmas, and I'm hoping that he can maybe have some time to control the ball a little bit more, so he's able to do that as Huskies is going to get a save off the goal line to keep us scoreless in game 3. But not for long.
As you say that, a double touch out of Thorn goal. Listen, he just wants all the goals. He's scoring all the goals, and we have a highlight play here out of him. Yeah, a tremendous goal. What a goal. There's not much more to say than Thorn goal is just on fire, man. Get this guy off the ball, get him away. This guy is scoring everything, and it's 1-0 to the Kansas City boys.
Yeah, but it's going to be an instant response from EC Blue. That's exactly what you're looking for if you're an EC Blue fan. It's going to be a little bit off the kickoff. Funch did not get the best touch that he wanted. Christmas able to dunk him on the sidewall, and Funk able to just tap it home with no KC defenders in sight. And so this is good, right? Maybe you let in a goal from KC a little bit earlier in the game, but you've instantly responded, and now you're back on level terms. We'll see how EC Blue can respond even further and maybe keep their attack going.
Yeah, and those are I was going to say, those are the type of goals you want to take advantage of when mistakes happen from KC, but right on the other end, Funch, getting his name on the scoreboard. Somebody who hasn't been getting any of the limelight here in these first 2 games, but finding himself on the score sheet, putting his team up in the decisive game 3. Good to see him get on the scoreboard and, contribute in the goals.
Yeah, you mentioned it. We really haven't said Funch's name a whole bunch, and that's just because Thorn Gold and Yef are just doing their thing, like I said, up top, and obviously they've looked really good, but and truthfully, Funch has done a really good job on the back line. I don't think you can say much else about that. Reminds me of a lot of Doughboy from locals, right? Just a backline anchor, right? And you don't need to necessarily score the goals, right? When you have a Captain Yef and a Thorn Gold, and of course you've got Smitty coming and Serrano on the bench, who are also very, very good players. It's sometimes good to be a role player, right? You don't want to have, take a look at the U.S. basketball Olympic team, right? You have all these scorers, right? Somebody has to be the role player. Somebody has to step up and step down, essentially. And you have that in Funch, and truthfully, he's looked really good tonight.
Yeah, I would happily take Jason Tatum's spot on that team, for sure. But yeah, again, this is just better from EC Blue. Obviously, not conceding kickoff goals is really good, but midway through the game, they're only down 1. They're right in this game. So let's see if they can get some 50s, get some bums, get some demos, and cause some chaos to get themselves an equalizer here. Great touch by Funk there, by the way, with 0 boost. On the backboard, 0 boost. We've all been there, and that is extremely, extremely hard touch. And I think Huskies is just going to score here. 2-2, kind of out of nowhere. It seemed like Casey had plenty people back, but I guess Thorngold maybe thought somebody was behind him or something, and it's 2-2, and EC Blue is right back in this game. Great cut by Christmas there. Are you back, Right Dog? You might have been muted there for a little bit.
I think I was muted. I was just gonna say that play started with Funk and ended with Huskies, and it all started. You mentioned it with that 0 boost backboard read. As Yef, can he get a double? It's gonna go straight down. But yeah, it started with Funk with that beautiful touch because I think there was a KC person jumping, and so had to do something. And of course, Huskies was able to deliver. And here we go. We're level with a minute left.
Yeah, what a pre-jump from Captain Yef there on that aerial attempt out of Huskies. The speed of the game has gotten tremendously faster, which is really good if you're an EC Blue fan. And I think it's just resulting in what we're seeing on the scoreline here.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, KC's probably used to playing fast, so they will instantly adjust. But yeah, I think this faster play is actually benefiting EC Blue a little bit more. I think the players before were just not sure where to be in rotation just because the play was a lot slower. But now that the play is picked up to more of a maybe a traditional threes game, you know, you're in the right spots when you rotate, and it looks a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. And and we see a massive whiff here. This could be a chance for EC Blue if they get the ball in quickly. It does seem that KC did track back just in time. But yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of EC Blue, and this should be open. Oh, he gets bumped. Funk was in on net. A decisive bump there really saved what would have been a for sure goal.
Yeah, here comes KC with one last attack in regulation. It's going to be Yef. It's going to bounce down after an open net, and we have overtime in game three. Can EC Blue steal this?
Obviously, a little biased. Would love to see EC Blue here so we have a longer series, but overall, I've been really impressed with both teams so far. And yeah, EC Blue, again, their best showing so far. It seems that they've really gotten something going in this third game they really didn't have in those first two. And yeah, they're putting on a show.
Boost totals are looking a little worrisome if you're an EC Blue fan, but thankfully Huskies did pick up that corner boost and is going to be able to clear it out after a 50 in the midfield and another 50. It's going to leave Thorngold in an awkward spot. But yeah, the boost totals right now for EC Blue aren't looking so hot.
Yeah, they've done a really good job in terms of starving boost there from the Kansas City contingent. As we do see a whip from Christmas, and Huskies just in the nick of time, saving the series for his side.
And this ball is just hanging around the EC Blue goal, and thankfully Huskies is going to clear it to the side, and Christmas is going to pick up that boost. That's going to be key. But this ball is still being pummeled right into the EC Blue half as Funk and Huskies are going to combine and get this one clear.
Man, EC Blue is putting up a wall in front of their goal. They've had some what would have been sure goals if it wasn't for some last-ditch defending. Yeah, KC putting that pedal to the metal here. It's gonna be a battle of defense. See if EC Blue can survive this onslaught and get a 50 and get upfield.
Oh, there's one from Funk, but Christmas didn't have the boost and didn't have the right angle as Yef dodging some demos in the midfield and still staying on the attack. He's not going to be able to follow this one, but yeah, I agree. I think if you're an EC Blue fan, it's going to be about boosts and it's going to be about defensive rotations. Of course, we all know KC's firepower. And so can they just hold on long enough and maybe get a counterattack goal and send us to a game 4?
Yeah, sometimes it's just about getting a good 50 to allow your teammates to get boosts and to get upfield. And great touch there by Funk on a cut. Yeah, it's sometimes just all it is just 150, man. 150 can get you up the field and can really change the momentum of a game.
As Huskies is going to control this out. It's going to be a 50 from Yef. Is that on target? It's not. Funch is going to try and get there. He can't. But nonetheless, here come the KC boys again. Thorngold. It's going to be a backflip from Huskies, and thankfully the next EC defender was there to clear. But yeah, this ball has just been hanging out in the orange half. We'll see if EC Blue can get 2 demos just like that, but thankfully Funch is there for KC. Can Funch finish this? He can't. It's going to go off the post.
Yeah, you saw those 2 demos there. You think surely that's going to result in a shot on the Kansas City net, but it resulted in a Kansas City counterattack that almost ended the game with a Funch attempted double tap. Great pass by Funch, and what a save. Christmas again, being there for his team when his team needs him the most.
Yeah, absolutely. As KC are looking geared up for another attack, and Funk is going to play this one to the side. He's going to try and follow it up in 50 with Funch and allow Christmas to come in, but a few scary double commits, I'll say, if you're an EC Blue fan. As Huskies is going to pop it over the last defender, and oh no, that ball rolls up. It's not the touch and not the roll that you want if you're EC Blue. That net was open, but unfortunate.
Yeah, truly unfortunate there. Great infield pass right here from Captain Yef. On to Thorngold. What a save. Huskies to the rescue again, and another save. They are holding on here. Man, some tremendous saves out of the EC Blue guys so far in this game to stay alive in this series, and what would have been a sure KC goal on multiple occasions.
Absolutely. This one's going to be just off target. Funk is going to get the save, and here comes the attacking threat from KC. Some demos and some bumps. It's not going to lead anything just yet. Can Funk get there? He can, and he's going to steal the boost. That ball's going to just float into the middle. Not going to be the touch that Yef wants, so it's going to allow EC Blue to keep possession.
We are almost at another 5 minutes played in this game. Can Captain Yef finish it? He can't. What a save again. Huskies on the goal line. And another save. And there it is. It would be Thorngold to end this series in a 4-minute overtime. Wow. What a series. What a game. Thorngold has to be the talk of the series. For me, the easy MVP. And the Kansas City Cauldron, with his performance, have won their first series of Season 8.
Yeah, it's just a dominant performance. I mean, you look at Thorngold, 12 points. I think he had 800-ish, in game 2, or maybe even game 1, and then game 2, of course, having some assists to Captain Yef. So it's just a total dominant performance from KC. But I think if you're EC Blue, you have your head high, right? Like, you absolutely competed in that last game, and you've got a lot of things to take with you from that last game. Of course, KC being one of, if not the best team in the league right now. And so now you have that to build on over the course of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to give the flowers to the defending champions. They put on a masterclass of a series. Thorngold, right now, the odds-on favorite for MVP if the season were to end right now. Great play out of him. Captain Yef as well. Really glad to see him back in the side after missing that latter part of last season. And listen, Funch is one of those players. You mentioned Doughboy. There are other players in this league that really don't go out on the offensive third, but really contribute to a good, stable defense. And he did a tremendous job as well in this series. So yes, if you're EC Blue, a lot to build on Game 3, but the champions are back and they're doing what champions do. And yeah, a 3-0 sweep to start Season 8 for them. They'll absolutely take that with, for me, still missing some of their better players in Smitty and Serrano and maybe Cheeky Prophet, maybe once the window opens after week 6. So again, great game out of the KC boys. And if you're EC Blue, like you said, hold your heads up. First game, new roster, and take that Game 3 into the next series and into the season.
Yeah, and you have a lot to take with you, like I mentioned before, right? You're playing one of the best teams in the league, and truthfully, you kind of get them out of the way in week 1, right? You don't need to worry about them the rest of the season, right? You can take all of those things that you've learned from playing against them with you, and now you can start playing those two, quote unquote, the lower teams, right? Right? If you have KC at 1, right, you're playing the rest of the teams below them, right? And so now you can take those things and kind of just check off KC, like, hey, we don't need to play them now, and now we've got good shots to play the other teams the rest of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we might have some interviews. Do we have interviews lined up? Let's take a peek.
I think we do.
I think we do. Maz, if you want to bring in whoever the first interviewee will be, I think we're ready.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Captain Yef from KC Cauldron. We're just going to get him in here momentarily. The game 2 hero, if you guys don't remember, we've talked about Thorngold so much, of course, in game 1 and game 3, kind of dominating the scoreboard, but it was Captain Yef in game 2 who actually lit up the scoreboard with I want to say, 750, 800 points. So we'll get him here shortly, and we can ask him some questions, see what's going on.
Get in pub 1, Yef. We will drag you if you are listening to the stream. Also, thank you, Maz, again for streaming and doing all the back end stuff. Really appreciate that. Helps us commentators out when you're not streaming as well. A lot less to do. Makes
As we
things a
saw on Monday.
makes things a lot easier. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And you said your team's game is tomorrow, or is it tonight? You said.
It's tonight. Yeah, we can talk about it now as we're waiting for Captain Yef to join us. Yeah, so Timbers Army and Black Army, the one last remaining match of week 1 in the start here of season 8 is going to be played tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific time. There will not be an SGL stream for it, but I will be streaming twitch.tv/it's RyDogTV. I'll definitely be posting it in the self promo chat in the Discord server, so you guys will be able to see it. That'll be 10 o'clock Pacific time. But we do have our very special guest, Captain Yef. Welcome into the booth, and congrats on the win.
Hey, thanks, guys. What a way to kick off the new season, right?
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, obviously at the end of last season, you took a little bit of time away from the team. You're back in the team for the first game of Season 8. Talk to me how you're feeling after this game. What does it mean for you to be back in the lineup? And yeah, how are the vibes?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to be back. A lot has actually changed in this post-season, or off-season, rather. I've actually moved across states, and now I'm back in Missouri, which is a good feeling. But definitely was a test tonight to kind of see how things went, testing internet, things like that, and getting back to be with the boys and getting back into SGL. So definitely felt good to be back on the pitch with Thorngold and Funch.
How fun was it to play with those two tonight? I mean, you guys looked like at times you guys were just having a blast. I saw some pre-jumps, I saw some demo plays, and we kind of mentioned it here in the booth while you guys were playing that those are things you hate playing against, right? Especially the pre-jumps, you just feel like, man, I'm trying my butt off, and these other guys are pre-jumping and clipping on me. So how does it feel to do those sorts of things and just to have fun? Because it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were having a blast. We got to kind of catch up a little bit tonight as well. But I think I saw some comments in the stream chat that Funch has definitely improved in this off season. He's been playing a lot with some other friends and gaining new skills and skills that are kind of helping us out here too. And then I think Thor has just continually improved and just kind of getting the three of us back together. We've always kind of meshed well in our KC Cauldron team. I think there's 5 of us this season. We all have just kind of meshed well and kind of jived and do well together and just kind of know what we're going to do. And so thankfully, a lot of our comms between us are just about like rotational and boost management, things like that. Other than that, it's just a lot of fun to play with them.
Yeah, speaking about Thorngold, obviously you and him have been in this league for a very long time, along with Funch. I think Thorngold averaged 3 goals a game this series, or it was something like that. Like he was on fire, every game, 800 points. Talk about how he played today, and yeah, just being his teammate and seeing him put up those sorts of numbers.
Hey, we tried to tell him to chill. We wanted Funch and myself to get a few goals as well. So thankfully he was able to let us get some goals too. But definitely Thor was on fire. Always right positioning, always calm. One of our steady players to just kind of always be where he needs to be and kind of finish the job and get the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, and just to fact check myself, he had 9 goals in 3 games. So there we go. He was on fire, and yeah, it was really good. It's always good to see you two, because I'm pretty sure you two always play in the Dominus. So I was love seeing a good Dominus player showcasing their talents. So yeah, Thorngold was great, and you were tremendous as well, Yef, in the series.
Yeah, I think I finally got him to switch over to Dominus last season. So it was definitely one of my proudest moments with him.
Love to hear that. Yeah, you guys are definitely firing on all cylinders for sure. Continuing your championship form from last season. Luis, do you have any other questions? If not, we can give the floor to Captain Yef here.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Captain Yef, the floor is yours.
I just got one thing to say, and I'm going to lean in here real quiet. Cheeky Prophet will make a return this season.
Oh. Wow, get the rumors started. Get the rumors started. Wow, what a way to cap the stream here. Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah, I think for the rest of the league, probably don't like to hear that. Don't want the champions to continue to get better. But yeah, the return of the prophet.
Awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, thank you so much for joining us in the booth, and of course, congrats on a fantastic win tonight.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, and happy Friday Eve.
Yeah, you as well.
Happy Friday Eve. Yeah, Captain Yef. Yeah, what a performance from KC. I just we've talked about it over the course of the stream. It's we don't really expect anything else from them.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, like I said in commentary, these are the champions doing champions things. They are the favorites until someone dethrones them. And again, for me, I mean, missing some of their better players. I mean, this team is just stacked all the way through with you have Smitty, you have Serrano, you have Cheeky Prophet coming back as well. So yeah, I think this is going to be the team to beat until someone dethrones them. So the favorites for sure for now, and yeah, hopefully we see some teams at least put a hand up. You know, maybe not beat them, but at least put a hand up, make them sweat a little bit. But yeah, for now they're the favorites, and yeah, I'm already penciling in Thorn Gold for early odds-on favorite to win SGL MVP.
Yeah, I think after that performance, I mean, he might be the week 1 MVP. Of course, we do still have one more match to go, and we did mention it earlier. It'll be Timbers Army versus Black Army. That'll be happening later tonight. And as of course, if my accounting gang brother mentioned in chat, the time might be tomorrow for you guys. It'll be happening at 10 p.m. Pacific time, and then that's I guess 1 a.m. for you, Mr. Luis, being in Florida now. But so that will happen tomorrow morning, but definitely tonight if you are on the West Coast. But I think, yeah, let's just do kind of a quick recap of the week so far. Of course, like you said, we got one more match to go, but Luis, you want to run through kind of these first few games? Of course, we had the beauty of commentating those first two on the list there.
Yeah, listen, I think I'll highlight the game of the week for me so far. I do think it was. I think it was probably the local Steel Army. I really enjoyed watching that series back on the VOD. That was for me my favorite series so far of the week. But yeah, some really good performances across the board. You saw those Verdes. They have a winning record in SGL as things stand this season. Love that for them. They were another surprise for me in terms of how they played. But yeah, across the board, Emerald City RC playing the way that we know they can as one of the perennial favorites in this league, adding that threat in Gojo, taking down a Rebellion team who in their first cup appearance finished, I believe, 3rd. So not like a small feat at all. Yeah, I think y'all. I'll say one small thing about y'all series tonight. Black Army is the new team into SGL this season. They are the LAFC boys, and from what I've been told, they're really good. So I'm really looking forward to watching your series because I know what you guys can bring to the table. And now I'm ready to have our Chivas LAFC friends back into the league and to see how they play against you guys tonight. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited to get that rolling. Of course, that is in just over 2 hours time. But I guess speaking along those lines, do you have a prediction for later tonight?
I hate to
you can
do
be
this
honest.
to you.
You can be honest.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be. I will be honest. From what I've seen, and I know the Saikugo and a bunch of the guys in LASC stream a lot. I do watch their streams. They're playing a lot. So I'm gonna go with them. So yeah, you can hold me to that in the next commentary stream if you do end up pulling a win. Yeah, if I had it, I'll go 3-1 to Black Army. If I had to put out a prediction, yeah, we'll go 3-1 them, and who knows? Maybe I'm completely off base, and you guys are just going to dominate. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we will see. Once again, I've said it 50 times. I'll say it 50 more times if I have to. That'll be later tonight on my Twitch channel. So definitely keep out in the SGL server for notifications on that. But if there's nothing else, Luis, we can kind of do a quick wrap up here of our stream. Of course, we did have KC Cauldron straight up dominate EC Blue. But once we said EC Blue, keep your heads high because you do have a lot of good things rolling with you for the rest of the season. So I am proud of them as well. But yeah, KC just looked unstoppable tonight.
Yeah, again, tremendous series. Really glad to be here with you, Rydog. Thank you to everybody in chat as well. I think we have Smashly, Funch, Yef, Maz, Debit. If I miss anybody else, really thank you for coming out and typing in chat, watching the stream, supporting SGL. Tonight's game could have been the Open Cup final preview. Unfortunately, Seattle ended up losing that game to your future opponents tonight. And again, I really appreciate seeing all these supporters from all these different clubs come together and play some Rocket League. So appreciate the chat. Appreciate you, Rydog. Thank you, Maz, for streaming. And yeah, that's all I have. If you have anything else, you're more than welcome to wrap us up here, Rydog.
Perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, thanks for joining me, Luis. This is a lot of fun. Maz doing the back end work, the GOAT for real. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in tonight to our KC Cauldron EC Blue stream. We really appreciate all the chats in the chat and all that sort of stuff. So for Luis, for Baz, I'm Rydog. We will see you next time. Don't forget 10 o'clock my Twitch tonight for the last match of week 1, and then we'll get rolling with week 2. See you guys.